Blending into your environment is crucial for any survival situation, especially when surrounded by bands of dangerous Caucasian cyclists. It's not a joke, you do have to watch out for Caucasian cyclists around here because they don't pay attention and they'll run you over. A lot of people I know of don't like to travel far from home at all, any distance away from home, because they're worried about something potentially happening while they're gone, which would make them more susceptible to being unprepared for this disaster, whatever it may look like. It didn't matter. I don't want to live my life like that, and I don't encourage you to live your life like that either. I want you to live your lives to the fullest and not in fear. And being able to explore the space, get out and see other parts of the country, other parts of the world, I think is a very valuable part of life. But when you are out and about exploring the space such as this, I want to make sure that you guys are prepared and you do the basics. Just the basics, so if something does go down, you can get yourself out of the danger zone and back towards your home.
No.
It's a water moccasin.
Oh no. No.
That there, friends, is a cottonmouth, otherwise known as a water moccasin.
Ugh.
Yeah. That's one of the most aggressive species of snakes that I have ever encountered. I have had them while frog gigging in a swamp before. I've had them charge at me. Luckily I was wearing tall waders and wasn't too worried. I've had them strike at four-wheeler tires as we've driven by before. You gotta watch out for water moccasins. They don't screw around. The other end of the spectrum, we discussed friends that I have, people that I know that don't go anywhere because they're afraid things might happen. The other end of that spectrum is people that just carelessly go wandering about everywhere and anywhere without a care in the world. They're drinking their Mai Tais on the beach and they're completely oblivious to what is going on around them. It's a really big thumb. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. I don't want to be that either. I want to be somewhere in the middle. I want to have a healthy balance of preparedness, situational awareness, and the free will, the ability to enjoy myself in new places and experience new things. Yeah! We did it! So learn new skills daily. Learn about the animals in the environments that you are traveling to. Learn what the dangerous snakes and other aggressive biting things and stinging things that are there. Learn about those animals, what their habits are, what they look like, how to easily identify them. All of that, what the poisonous plants look like. Do you know what poison ivy looks like? There's a lot of people, we take it for granted, but there's a lot of people out there that if you showed them poison ivy, they'd be like, looks like a green vine, no big deal. And they would touch it and use it for toilet paper, and then you'd be in a bad spot. And just a little bit of research before you travel to a new place could really, really be beneficial. Emergency training, survival training, all valuable skills. Look for the ones that aren't just regionally specific. Look for survival skills that easily transfer over to different environments. I might be in a swamp right now and it's hot and humid, but I could use some of those same skills that I've learned at a course, for example, that I could use some of those same skills in a Arctic environment. So look for those types of skills that work well in lots of different places. Survival mindset is going to be probably more important than anything else. Just like situational awareness, you need to have this always on tap. It needs to always be available. Your survival mindset, regardless of the situation that you're in, is going to be key. So take, for example, I had a buddy that was caught in Hurricane Helene. He was on a mountain in North Carolina and he was boxed in by landslides on both sides.
Right there.
I'm pretty sure I can surf that. Full send.
Definitely.
No escape. They had to basically dig their way out of this situation. but he kept a positive can-do attitude this entire time and was able to solve problems as opposed to just getting overwhelmed by this situation and, oh, we're all going to die. That's not helpful to you. That's not helpful to anyone around you. But having a positive mindset, we're going to figure this thing out. No matter what happens, I will figure this thing out. And a lot of that goes back to what I was saying before, having skills, having experience, life experience that can only be obtained by getting out and doing things. Having that experience gives you confidence, gives you the ability to accomplish things and solve problems when stuff's going really south. People are gonna look towards you to solve those problems. I wanna be the type of person that when I show up to a bad situation, people relax a little bit because they know that I'm there and they know that I can be helpful in that type of situation. I want to be that kind of guy, and I think you guys do as well. Now, everybody wants to talk about gear. Some of my most highest performing videos are gear related, and I get it, gear's fun to talk about. Everybody enjoys getting the new shiny thing that does the magical task of whatever it's supposed to do. I get that, but it's much, much lower on the priority list. Skills and knowledge and experience are going to be way more valuable, way more beneficial. They don't weigh anything, they don't take up any space. But while we're on the subject of gear, yes, it's important to have really high quality tools and equipment. Having a vehicle that's properly maintained, that has good tires, recent oil changes, windshield wipers work, all that stuff is super crucial. It's not as exciting to talk about as, you know, what knife is on your hip, but it's more important. So let's say I was here 400 or 500 miles away from my home and I catch wind that some emergency, something has happened at my house, and I need to get home in a hurry. I want to make sure that my truck is fueled up, ready to go. I want to make sure that my tires aren't bald. I want to make sure that they're aired up. I want to make sure I'm not going to have a breakdown on the side of the road so I can get where I need to go in a hurry. Carry cash with you if you do have some sort of emergency like that. Let's say the emergency is more local here. Maybe credit cards are down, credit card machines are down. Having cash on you. I always have cash money on me so I can buy fuel at a minimum. Other supplies, of course, like food and water and whatnot.
And getting me surprises.
And getting surprises for a princess, of course, is important, but having the ability to pay cash for the things that you need is going to be really, really important. So properly maintained vehicles, keep your truck, your car fueled up. I always say a quarter tank is empty, but if I was on a long road trip like this and I'm far from home, I would say a half a tank might be smarter to consider empty. Have cash so you can buy the fuel that you need if the credit card machines are down. Layering your gear is important. Having the essentials on your person, like I've got a Wazoo cash belt on that has some survival essentials in my belt right there. I've got fire starters and all the stuff on me. A spare blade and a fire starter right there. At a moment's notice, I could even purify this water. While it would taste absolutely terrible, I could make that nasty swamp water safe enough to drink to get me through the short term with what I've got on me right now. That's important. So layering your gear, having stuff on your person, in your pockets, having a pack that's ready to go, a backpack, an easy way to carry supplies and equipment and resources and stuff on your back. Super important. Have that in your vehicle ready to go so you can just grab it at a moment's notice and be prepared. And then having all the other additional supplies in your vehicle is also really important. That's where I keep a lot of my camp gear right here. Just don't fall on the moccasin. Don't fall on the moccasin.
This man not only talks.
There's another one right there.
I still don't see it. Oh yeah.
Where is it?
You are all about situational awareness. I don't even know how you found that guy.
You gotta look out for these things.
Situational awareness, babe.
I can feel them. I can sense them. You know what I mean?
Smell them?
I'm in tune with their spirits. Pretty common comment that we get often on videos is, you know, what about the wildlife? What about the snakes and the spiders and the scorpions and all of the things? And while, you know, I can be really brave up here on this boardwalk suspended, you know, 4 or 5 feet off the swamp, I still would not be afraid to walk down in here because of the situational awareness, because I'm just constantly looking for these types of things. I'm aware that the threats are there. I'm always on the lookout for them. I can be talking to you on camera, I can be talking to my friends, but I'm always looking and scanning my environment, where I'm putting my hands and my feet for possible dangerous situations like the snakes. And that's just something that you just need to develop a habit of doing. They're always there. Yes, there's ticks and mosquitoes and spiders, and there's snakes and there's alligators and all the stuff. But generally speaking, most of that stuff doesn't want to hurt you. It wants to avoid you.
Moving away.
It wants to stay away from you. That snake does not want to waste its precious venom by biting me. It doesn't want anything to do. It can't eat me. I'm too huge, obviously. Too huge to be eaten by that snake, so it doesn't want to waste its venom. While it may defend its turf, it may defend its territory, and it may bite me, actually a good percentage of moccasin bites are dry bites. My wife got bit on the hand by a water moccasin once. You can see little fang marks on her hand, but no venom was injected into her body, which was a relief, obviously. Don't quote me, but something like 20-30% of the water moccasin's bites are dry bites. Just having an awareness of your surroundings, paying attention, dressing appropriately. If it was mosquito season right here, right now, I would not be wearing what I'm wearing right now. If I was walking through this swamp, I probably would not have blue jeans on, because cotton absorbs the water and it just holds on to that moisture. So I would dress in long sleeves, a wool shirt probably. I'd have gloves on. I might have a mosquito head net. I would dress appropriately for the conditions, for the climate, for the critters that are in my area. And that's always important. Just anticipating the things that you might encounter can save you a lot of heartache and a lot of misery. But if you're going to be in a wild place, if you're going to spend time in a remote place doing wild things, you're going to have to tolerate a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of uncomfortableness. But like I said before, previously in the video, the only way to gain experience, to gain knowledge, to gain expertise in areas, to gain confidence, is by getting out and doing it. If you just stay on the boardwalk your whole life and you never venture off of it, you're only going to see a tiny percentage of the world. And the world has so much to offer, as long as you're brave enough and you're willing to get off the boardwalk and go experience it. So regardless of where you plan on venturing, whether it be an urban, a rural, a wilderness landscape, be prepared. Take some of the basic precautions, some of the things that we've talked about before, and some of the things that I didn't even mention. If there's some key tips, some key information that I left out, I'm no expert. I don't know everything. So please leave some comments for me. Let me know some additional tips and tricks of the trade that you might recommend to somebody that's going to be traveling somewhere. I really do appreciate you watching. Leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and until next time, what's the worst that could happen? Let's just go on 3. So I've teamed up with Stoker-Matic, and we are going to be doing a class on the 29th and 30th of March. So if you're interested, it's going to be a survival/land nav course, and it's going to be in North Georgia. You're going to love it. It's going to be tons of fun. There'll be a link for that in the description and in the comment section of this video as well.